Goalkeepers, nervous strikers, they'll deliver. Crowd roars erupted, you can feel the quake. 80,000 voices.
Hello everyone, you're welcome to the channel. So, off the back of the result the match we just watched, Nigeria beat Benin Republic 4-0, trashed them resoundingly. Victor Osimhen with a hat-trick, and in the dying embers of the game, a goal from Frank Onyeka. So, wonderful strike from him. Overall, very good performance from the team. Certain substitutions were made. Have some questions about that. But what does it mean for the Nigerian Super Eagles? Had the win, but what does it actually mean for the Nigerian Super Eagles? But one thing is clear: Nigeria won't be qualifying for the World Cup automatically. South Africa have the honors. Congratulations to them. They've qualified for the World Cup. Now, this brings certain regrets in the Benin Republic game away. Nigeria should have won that game, but the way Finis George set his team up, the selection he made, the way he chose to use his striker, meant that Nigeria lost that game. The first leg away to South Africa drew that game. So those are the sort of games, and Eric Chell himself cannot escape blame as well. Though he's been very, I would say, 6, 7 over 10. I'll give him. But he had his own share of the blame as well going into the game for Zimbabwe. How he managed that game, the midfield was really getting tired and refused to make substitutions, and that cost Nigeria the game as well. And then even the game with South Africa, Ian Bloemfontein, there's some errors he made in selection. Cyril Dessers, you wanted to use him as a physical striker. That didn't quite work well for anyone. So all that's true. But the good news supposedly, or goodish news, I'll put it that way, Nigeria are qualified for the playoff, because during the match, the whole permutations was if Nigeria were able to score 4 goals and lead by 4 clear goals, Nigeria would be guaranteed a spot in that playoff, in the African playoff spot. And once that's done, then you get to play an intercontinental playoff. It's absolute madness. This one, Nigeria, we don't seem to do things the easy way at all, because right now you have to play in a 4-nation sort of tournament, a semi-final, and then you go on to play final. Then when you win that one, you go on to play against a side from Oceania and South America as well. So it's crazy, absolutely crazy. But I guess at this point, you take what you get. But the biggest culprits for me in all of this, the biggest ones that no one will talk about. I know everyone will talk about players. Everyone will criticize players. Some people will have nuanced reactions to sort of tactics that Eric Chell used sometimes. How I think he sort of played around too much with the midfield, in my opinion. But a lot of people are going to ignore the biggest culprits of them all, the biggest criminals of them all, the people that should be locked up, and that is the NFF. People say, oh, back-to-back World Cup, failing to qualify for back-to-back World Cups. Who would you blame? What has been the constant? The NFF. The way things have been run. Look at this squad going into this last leg of the qualifying series, at least the automatic qualifying series. You got no fullback. Rather, you had 3 fullbacks to start with. So you had Practice like Samuel, you had Zaidu Sanusi, you had Bruno Yemachi, but Olaina was out injured, and you had known about this a couple of months ago. And what did you do? Nothing. Practice like Samuel pulls out. Rather than having someone stand by to come in fullback in the right back spot, no. What did you do? You risk Benjamin Frederick playing at that right back spot, and then no backup for him. And you had 2 left backs. Look at the midfield, light. So when you look at all these things, the one set of people that always seem to go unscathed, the Nigerian Football Federation. People will say, oh, but they don't play on the pitch. Yeah, they don't. They don't come on the pitch to play. But they make decisions that affect people that play on the pitch. Olusegun came on, he looked okay. But was it really impressive? So, anyways, we'll come back to that fully, but let's talk about this game. So the way the game started on the front foot. Victor Osimhen quickly got his goal. I think between the third and fifth minute, he got the first goal, and then he got the second one, and then third one, hat trick for him. The team had a lot of possession and could have, quite frankly, scored more goals. Leading up to that goal. And I think the message had come from Eric Chill that, look, you need to get 4 goals. If you get 4 goals and lead by clear 4 goals, you will be qualified for the playoff. So that's why I think he brought on Tyron Murphy, and that was the instruction that was passed on. And fair play. Fair play to the team. They got the fourth goal that was needed, so off to the playoffs. So we are waiting the team that Nigeria will be playing in those playoffs. But just get yourself ready for Nigerians. It's a long, arduous sort of tournament. It's not very easy. But at this point, like I said, you take what you get, right? You take what you get. It's better, like I say, half bread is better than none, or half bread is indeed better than pawpaw, because right now, the playoff is what we get. It's what Nigeria Super Eagles get. So we take it on board. Now, what does this mean going forward? One question I want to ask you, in fact, I want to know what you think about this in the comment section, in the chat. If you want to come on here, I will drop the link here so you can join me. I want to pose this question before I pose this link. Now, what does this mean for the Nigerian Super Eagles? What does this mean for Eric Chill? What does it mean for the NFF? Should Eric Chill take Nigeria through to the AFCON? And what makes this even crazier for the players is that the AFCON starts December, and by November, that's when you have to play this intercontinental playoff. So it's mad. You play that game, and then you go on to play the AFCON. So it's absolute madness. And if you don't win those games, then you're going into the AFCON with your spirits shattered. That could really be a problem for the players. But if you win the game, you get the big bounce, you go in there, and that isn't the last of it. You still have to plan to play the coming game. So the big question is, what happens to Eric Chill? Should he still be in the job? I think if you're going to let Eric Chill go, you need to make sure you're getting someone who's better. Because that's one thing the NFF, in their wisdom, have failed to do, right? They get Gennett Raw, let him go, and then who did you get in his place? You got Jose Pesero, and who did you get in his place immediately? You got Finidi George to be in his place, who, let's face it, is nowhere near as good as Jose Pesero is. And then now you've got Eric Chill. If you're going to let him go, you need to get someone who's better, or else you let him be in the job. For me, my thing has been he's overly experimented with his team, and that means he's taking way too many risks with that team. So if you're enjoying this stream, thanks for joining. We are talking about the game Nigeria versus Benin Republic, where Nigeria has just absolutely smashed Benin Republic, but in doing so have also helped South Africa gain an automatic qualifying berth to the World Cup that will be taking place in Mexico, Canada, and the United States. So congratulations to them. But that means Nigeria gets to play in the playoff. So there are 2 phases of the playoff. You've got the African playoff, where you'll be playing, against 3 other teams. So it's a 4-team sort of tournament, 2 semifinals, and then you get to the final. You win that final, then you're going on to play an intercontinental playoff. I think it's against a team from Oceania and from South America. I think so. I'll definitely, on other shows, I'll come up with more concrete or more clarity in and around the modalities of the playoff. So, but fair play, Victor Osimhen, he seems to get a lot of slack from Nigerian fans, especially. He scored a hat-trick today. What are you going to say? Each game he's played, he's contributed. Sometimes he does the intangible contribution where he puts pressure on the opposition defense, causes them to commit penalties, commit fouls, commit free kicks, plays his teammates in. Last game against Lesotho, he came up with a good assist for Aquadams. In this game as well, he's come up with a hat-trick, and he could have had 2 or 3 assists as well in this game. He set up teammates, and some shots were blocked and some shots were just way off target. So, question asked, what do you think this should mean for the Nigerian Super Eagles? And Going into those playoffs, are you happy with the team as they are? Would you want more players coming in? I want more players coming in. I want new faces in this team because this team is heavily unbalanced. The way the team is put together is heavily unbalanced. Because, okay, have a look at this. Look at the midfield. You've got Ndidi, you've got Iwobi, you've got Al Hassan Yusuf that didn't get to play. Just like Abdullahi Ele at the Under 20 World Cup. They just have some name in there. You know he's not going to contribute anything. That is why I think we Nigerians will let the NFF get away with a lot of things. We do. We let them get away with a lot of things. They are the ones that insist on certain players being in this team. Al Hassan Yusuf invited. What has he done? He didn't play any minutes in this game. He didn't contribute anything to this team. And what's more is you just know, if he had come on, he wouldn't really contribute that much either. So that's the problem we have to sort with the NFF. Now, this is my solution to Nigerian football. This is my solution to Nigerian football. Let me know if you agree. My solution is this. The NFF president should have a 10-year single tenure. 10 years, single tenure. 10 years. But, this is the caveat, but the moment any national team fails to qualify for any tournament, that NFF president immediately loses his seat instantly. If it's the under 17 World Cup fail to qualify for, if it's the under 20 World Cup fail to qualify for, if it's the WAFU tournament you fail to qualify for, if it's the under 20 AFCON, if it's the senior AFCON, if it's the senior World Cup, Women's World Cup, you fail to qualify for, you just pack your bags, pack your briefcases, and be gone. Because we can't keep having this. You just can't keep having this. I said, look at Morocco, look at the blueprint they've set. They're heading towards another final in the under 20s. And they're everywhere. Come to think, I think they are the ones that are going to host the playoffs. You know, the playoffs, these playoffs we're all talking about in November, Morocco will be hosting those playoff games. So, and they should go into those games looking to, because now this is knockout football. It's knockout football, it's one game, you go in there, you must win. And then you go into the final of the playoff, you go into that game and you win. So it's knockout football. One game decides your fate. Game by game by game by game. Now, speaking about new faces, Philippe Otele, it's criminal that he's not in this team. It's absolutely bonkers that you don't have Philippe Otele in this team. Especially when you don't have a ready-made replacement for Ademola Lookman. Of all the wingers that Nigeria does have, the one player that is close to being in, or rather, who is the same profile as Ademola Lookman is Philippe Otele. Right wing forward or left wing forward, pacey, skill, cutting on rifle, scores goals. He works for the team. I think he has more defensive. He puts in more of a defensive shift than Ademola Lookman, in my humble opinion. So, why is he not on this list? Why wasn't he in this list? He should be in this list going into the playoff. Because this playoff, that's it. There's nothing to save you. There's no safety blanket. For these World Cup qualifiers, you had a safety blanket of the playoff. If you fuck about too much, fuck about a bit, somehow, some way, you manage to get the playoff, and then maybe you go again. But now you do not have any safety blanket with the playoffs. If you lose out, that's it. You lose out the World semi-final, it's curtains. You go home and start preparing for, the AFCON. And now this does make this whole thing a joke. This whole friendly matches the NFF had created for themselves to be hosted in the US, right? They won against Venezuela and one other team that will be playing in the US. Because I think Nigeria may be coming up against Venezuela, maybe, but at least definitely a South American side. That's if the Nigerian Super Eagles are able to pull through the playoffs. Because those teams in those playoffs, for sure, when you look at how some teams finished, if not for this, and let's be honest, if not for this sort of last-minute withdrawal by Eritrea and the rest, and that makes you fun to say we're not going to take into consideration the results, against the last place team in each group, Maybe Nigeria doesn't qualify, doesn't even get to the playoffs. Maybe Nigeria doesn't even get to the playoffs. So the NFF have to be held accountable. Yes, we have the caution win today, 4-0 dropping off Benin Republic, as it should be. As it should be. When you see players playing in their rightful position, as it should be, you should be beating Benin Republic. But happy, I'm so happy, going there, dominant performance, 4-0 dropping, your star boy in Victor Osimhen gets the hat trick. The team pulls their weight. Semi Ajayi, I think this is the best I've seen him in a Nigerian shirt. And let's give a shout out to this kid. This kid, I think Brentford, if you let this boy go, you must be smoking something really bad. Benjamin Frederick. Benjamin Frederick. That boy is special. He is special. He was never dribbled past today. This is real never dribbled past. Not like Van Dijk at Liverpool where he'll be running away from the attacking player and say, "Oh, you didn't dribble past me." Whoa. He actually, even the foul, the free kick that was given against him, that was a nothing foul. He didn't do anything to the guy. He just held him off with his arm. Referee. I think the referee was a bit excited today to blow the whistle in sports in the game. But Benjamin Frederick, I think that's a fine. That's an absolute fine. Someone who's comfortable playing centre back, comfortable playing, as a right back, comfortable taking the ball into midfield. Benjamin Frederick, for me, top player, top young player, and this is a player that should be in this team. I don't want to see any politicking around that sees him out of this team. I do not want to see any sort of madness where you bring some drumstring fellow from somewhere and then he's dropped. He should be in this team. Now, going into those playoffs, the right back situation have to be sorted out. Just have to. That right back situation just has to be sorted out. If Boniface Samuel is injured, and of course Olajuwon is injured up until December, so you need to start looking. Whether it's Michael Kayode, if you need to get him to switch allegiances, this is when you do it. This is when you do it. People say, "Oh, Dual National, they lack passion." Semenyo was born in Bristol or Brighton? Played for Ghana, and they've qualified for the World Cup straight on. So it has nothing to do with the fact that the player is a dual national. It has everything to do with the quality of the dual national or quality of the player, period, that you bring into the team. That's what it has everything to do with. So the players you bring in, we should stop this. Al Hassan Yusuf, what was he doing there? Olusegun, I'm a bit suspect about him, but especially when you have quality all over the world, in the what's it called now? In the domestic league, you've got quality. In the grassroots domestic scene, you've got quality. Outside of country dual nationals, you've got quality. So what are you doing then? Now, Sani Suleiman, he's one of the best things, or rather, I would say he's the best thing that's come out of that under-20 World Cup. That was an absolute shambles. So I think for that playoff, maybe he could be in the squad. I don't know. But for sure, Philip Otele must be there. He must be there. He's not some young kid. He must be part of this team going forward. Because you need to get quality for quality. Like I said, there is no safety blanket. There's no safety net. There's no safety net. You lose out, you're gone. So, top marks to the players for winning this one. Top marks to them for the performance they put out there. This one will probably they value themselves together and say, this is on us. This is on us. It's on us. And it really proved their mettle, in this game. And then looking at the midfield, one question I want to ask: Uche Santos, why wasn't he in this game? Why? And I think Victor Boniface is another person you begin to integrate into this team. I've said this about Victor Boniface. People have been harsh on Victor Boniface. My take about footballers, celebrities, popular people, wealthy people, as long as you're not committing any crime, as long as you're doing what is legal, fine, do what you want. What does he do after games? He plays video games, he streams. Is that an issue? Is that why people are up in arms about Victor Boniface? And I've said this about Victor Boniface. We sometimes we have to study the profile of players. Victor Boniface isn't it. He's not like Victor Osimhen where you just throw the ball to him. He can hustle, fight on his own. No, Victor Boniface likes he likes to feel the ball. With the 10 close to him, drop like he used to play with Florian Wirtz at Bayer Leverkusen. Get the ball, hold it up, drop it up, things like that. Play with the striker like he played with Sheikh. That is how he plays, and he absolutely cooks when he does that. He comes up with assists, he comes up with goals. So Victor Boniface is another person. If you're going for a 4-4, so for a 4-2-4, 4-4-2, any sort of formation that sees this team playing with two strikers, he should be somehow back in this team. Tolaruko Dare, Akwa Adam, Victor Osimhen, that's three. Terry Murphy, I'll take Victor Boniface over Terry Murphy. Where will you put Victor Boniface? Where will I put Victor Boniface? Victor Boniface, I said it's between him and Terry Murphy. Honestly, Kingdom Truth Channel, I said it's between him and Terry Murphy. Prof D. Prof D, put on your camera, that would be lovely.
Let's dance out for 45 minutes.
Hello.
Even though Osimhen.
Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? Good evening, sir. How you doing? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, are you there? Okay, you dropped off. Maybe you. Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. You join back. Victor Boniface, for sure. How I would say, please, where do you keep? Where would you put Boniface? You want the coach to put? Would you want the coach to put aside? I mean, Terry Murphy is someone that I'll look at and say maybe he's that one. Yeah, maybe he's that one. And also, so Victor Boniface is someone you shouldn't be sleeping on. Forget about what he does. Look at Lamine Yamal. I'm not saying what Lamine Yamal does is even right, but that doesn't cost him what he doesn't cost him his Spanish national team place. Well, anyways, so that's it for the performance today. I think is the best I've seen in this World Cup qualifying cycle, and we get to feel the pain of the draw against Zimbabwe, the loss to Benin Republic, a game you should be winning. So, so that's the absolute that's just the crux of the matter. Man for man, no team in this sort of group was better than Nigeria. South Africa for sure, definitely not. Benin Republic for sure, definitely not. Lesotho, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, definitely not. It's just that the NFF have punished the national team, have punished us with how they put this team together. Each time they put up a list, you always see glaring loopholes, and you wonder what style are they looking to play? Is this game not important enough to them? And I think they make the job more difficult for the coach. Now the coach, he has his own share of the blame, which is how you put the team together. How you construct the team.
Still in the middle. You understand? We still are lacking a bit of that creativity.
Hello, Charles. How you doing?
Like we
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Did you watch the game?
How was the game?
4-0. 4-0. I cannot believe this. This is what I love. Where has this intensity been for quite some time? Where has this been? I wish this intensity was that Zimbabwe game. If we have won that Zimbabwe game, do you know we have won this group?
Yeah, we would have
Because
qualified. That's the Zimbabwe
yeah,
game.
we
We
would
have
have
won
won
it.
directly if we won that because Zimbabwe. No, we dropped 2 points. That's 19. We're 17 now. That was 19. South Africa.
Points. We got the Lesotho game, the first one,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
drew that one,
mm-hmm,
then went on to Zimbabwe, the first one,
mm-hmm,
drew as well,
mm-hmm,
went on to
mm-hmm.
Benin Republic, lost. It's just because the NFF decided to joke around,
Yeah,
and they
but
are the biggest culprits. They are
exactly,
the biggest
exactly.
culprits. People
You
blame
get big time,
players,
big
people
time.
blame coaches, but they never
But
blame the NFF.
I love the way the boys were playing. Like everybody was on some point. They want to make you pass. They calculated it, and that was so good. I was there was a pass. Was it pass? It was Zaidu that made to Chukwueze. Chukwueze miskick it. I don't know if that's there was one the first time Zaidu makes to Chukwueze. Chukwueze miskick it. I was like, wow, Chukwueze, calm down, calm down. I love the intensity. If they can play like this, injury free, Nigeria can qualify with ease. They can be Gabon. But
No, no,
Nwabali again,
see,
Nwabali is still a suspect. He dropped that ball in the midfield. Nwabali, man, I don't trust him.
see, what Bali is suffering from what I call no competition citis. You know, when you look over your shoulder, there's no one really that can take your spot. You know,
Don't
you're
worry.
kind of comfortable,
No,
kind
don't
of
worry.
comfortable.
Maduka is coming back. Maduka is
You know,
coming back. So he started.
but I think
Maduka
Maduka
is
is.
coming.
I don't have any. If you're going to come back, that's fine. But each time he's been given the opportunity to sort of man the sticks,
Mm-hmm.
somehow, some way, he always manages to just fluff
Yeah,
his
so
lines.
no.
He's
Did
been
you
given
watch
the
it?
opportunity.
Did you watch the Russian game? Did you watch the Russian game? Nigeria
Nah,
versus
yeah, I
Russia.
won't be surprised. Yeah,
Did you watch that every day? Because he was amazing. He was so
it was
amazing.
amazing. Okay,
I
let's
think
let's go.
I
Go
think
on,
it
go on.
boils
Sorry.
down to the coaching. Well, it boils down to the coaching that they receive. And Guavon is not. Erichel is higher than the Guavon, higher than Raw. What messed up Erichel was that he didn't know this team exactly, and that Unity Cup, he wanted to experiment with the team he knows. But NFF, in their own wisdom, forced their own players on him. If not, we have won this group. But I love his optimism. He was so optimistic. Even that South African game, when everybody lost hope. It was like we can still qualify. We can still qualify. And you saw the boys. So they can play like this. Everybody was making passes, calculating before they want to make. They will look and I was like, wow. I was paying attention to everything. And I think we need Oyendika in that midfield to complete it. I feel like Oyendika is
See,
a
that
better finisher.
midfield is suspect. I'm going to be
Yeah,
100% honest.
exactly.
Iwobi, Ndidi, when if Nigeria is able to scale through
They will.
this calf level playoff and go to the
Hmm.
intercontinental level, that
Hmm.
midfield will suffer. I'm being
Yeah,
one hundred
they
percent
will.
honest
No,
because it
the
will
only
be
team
Ndidi. Because when you're
they
playing with a
will.
two-man midfield, people don't understand this.
Hmm.
You're playing three
Hmm.
roles. Three
Hmm.
roles. You're playing as a defensive midfielder because you have to drop back and
Hmm.
protect the defenders. When
Hmm.
fullbacks overlap, you have to drop back and cover
Hmm.
these two left back and right back spot. And then
Hmm.
you have to be creative as well. When you're on the ball, you have to be creative as well. And so you need a massive tank to play in that two-man midfield. That's why
Yes.
Onyedika and Uche Crisanto should be the absolute first choice you have in that two-man midfield. And then
But
Ebenezer Akíntóyè should be next behind them. Because
the thing about Uche can make passes. Uche can hold the ball. Uche can win us free kicks and all that. But Uche can't make passes. He can't make passes. That's his problem. That's his big. That's why do you think he hasn't played in Crystal Palace? He cannot break in the first team. Lie. Who would they? Who would they? He cannot. Uche can't make passes. I didn't think he can make passes. Well, amazing. But I like this. Everybody thought
yes,
Nigeria will not qualify. Look, see how we did it in fashion. 4
yes.
new.
So
Everybody was laughing at us.
Adeposi Kasali, Kasali, I hope
South
I
Africa,
pronounced it properly. It says,
South
how
Africa.
does South Africa? Okay, I'm almost pronouncing it like a Nigerian.
Oh
Like
no,
their
no,
name.
you mean Adeposi? Adeposi Nigerian, yeah, definitely Nigerian. You say how does the playoff work?
How does
Okay,
how does the playoff work?
right now
So
Nigeria is the highest ranked team, so
yeah,
we'll face the lowest ranked team. Then
in a
Cameroon,
semi-final, and
yeah,
then
in the semi-final. Then
there'll
Cameroon will
be a
face
final that will
low,
then play.
yeah. So I think Nigeria might face if Congo make it through, we might face Gabon. But if Congo don't make it through, we might face Burkina Faso. Cameroon will face Gabon. Wow,
Yeah.
wow,
So any of those things can be a problem because Congo,
yeah,
they are also doing what I'm calling for Nigeria to do. They are getting their boys in. By
yeah.
their
But
boys, I mean they are dual nationals. They're getting them in.
But
They're
the thing
getting
is, I
them
don't
in.
see, I don't see, I don't see Congo beating Sudan spectacularly much goals. I don't see our only because if Cameroon and Gabon play, Gabon might eliminate Cameroon. Ha. Cameroon has been
So
Nigeria. They've
Emeka
been so
says,
disappointed. So Nigerian footballers can play like this. Look at them. I was like, wow.
Emeka said,
Okay, yes, we can get
Otele is a
Otele.
very good
Otele.
winger. Yes,
Yes, we
he
can
is.
get Otele. He can get
Otele is a very
Otele.
good winger. And the thing
I
is,
think
he's not a dual national. He just has Nigerian nationality. You invite him once, he's there. He's there. So Emeka again says we need another midfielder. I agree 100%. We need another midfielder.
uh, when is Dele Basiru injury ending? When is he ending? He might.
Dele Bashiru.
Yeah, because we
I
need. I
don't
think we
know.
need him in that.
Let's see back by November. Say Biodun Ayedun says there's nobody in the national team that is a good marker of footballers in Didi. He's a good
Yes,
marker, but
he's a good
but
marker. People
I'm
were
not saying he's
saying
a
not
bad player. I'm talking about
his legs are
profile, right?
gone.
If you're playing a typical 4-3-3 and you say in Didi, sit in front of this back four, protect them. But if you want Ndidi to play two-man midfield, to go two ways, Ndidi will expire. We've seen it in games. Zimbabwe game, it cost us. The Rwanda game, it was clear, but it did not cost us. This game, it was clear again, it didn't cost us. He expires in games. He gets tired. And it's okay. But for the team, it doesn't work. Please mindful of the music. I don't want any copyright issues, please. Sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
worries.
So
So Enokadu
my
says Nigeria is not qualified. Nigeria qualified, Mr. Adu and Ghanaian brethren. I know you want to
that
come
was
with the banter.
Ghanaian. They're not. It's back then. They should be ashamed of
Well,
themselves. This see, most majority of our first team players did not play almost all the game. Look at Victor. Victor came in game 5, and I think he's the highest. He's the highest goal scorer in that group. He has like three. He has like 6 goals.
Jare,
So you should
Jare,
stop saying.
your Gini, you know what? I'll bring you up, Jare. Go on, sorry.
They should not be talking. Victor is the highest goal scorer in that group. 6 goals. South Africa
Yeah,
qualified because of their daddy. I would say their daddy helped them. All this nonsense. They played 7 of their games at home.
at
It's
home.
nonsense.
Biodun says
It's
we
not.
don't seem to appreciate Ndidi what Ndidi does in that midfield. I appreciate him, but one thing I
I
also
appreciate
know
him.
about football is a physical athletic endeavor. You know,
Yes.
and profile of players like Filippo Inzaghi. You know, so he used to play on the shoulder of defenders. If you give him the ball, say dribble three, I want my striker to hold the ball, dribble past three players and score like R9. He will not be good. So it depends on what Eritrea wants to play. If you want to play this gangbuster football, going both ways, coast to coast with midfielders, indeed it will expire. And we are seeing it in these games. Some games it's cost us, some games it doesn't cost us. So Jared, you've joined. Let's hear what you think about the game and Nigeria's playoff prospects.
Charles, my blood pressure just came down. It was in the roof early. But can I say one thing? First of all,
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin. Now, man, if we do Ekong, we love you, but maybe you should be a captain on the bench from now on.
Yes.
Are you being pulled in
Please,
by Semi Ajayi's performance? Calm down.
honestly, please.
Calm
I
down.
mean, Ekong, please. You can on the bench. We love you, but we're gonna need you to stay on the bench. But see, man, my guy. But the Charles, where has this energy been? Where
That's
has
been
this?
there now. See, it's a typical Nigerian spirit now. Nigerian on the Kailas. It's been there. It's just that, how would I put it? They have not been pushed to the wall. See now that you see that first game against Rwanda, they won the game. But when they come back, they started dancing, making skit, doing all this nonsense. They got carried away. And to them, they thought they've arrived. It was that South African game that became the waking moment. It woke them up from reality. And
you
you
know,
saw everybody was playing. They were
Charles,
making before they want to make passes, they will have to calculate. Even there was one counter attack Victor wanted to make. They drag him that he stood. Victor was still
Charles,
right on the floor. Oh my god!
Charles.
Like wow.
I didn't even know the importance of that fourth goal until I saw the playoff update. You know, I was
Yes, it
following the
was.
playoff. That fourth goal changed things though. That fourth
Yes,
goal.
That fourth goal was the guarantee. The fourth goal was the
guarantee that we're not.
guarantee
Yes,
of the playoff.
guarantee.
Was the guarantee. So BR Football says Nigeria were third place in their group on the brink of missing out on the World Cup. Then Victor Osimhen scored the hat-trick that led them to a 4-0 victory over Benin and secured a spot in the playoffs, avoiding elimination. Heroic. Yeah. So essentially, Nigeria are in that playoff spot.
So do you know? Can you tell us how does that work? Can you just briefly tell
So,
us?
so the playoff essentially is there's the African one, where it's like another tournament on its own. So we laugh now, but it's a different tournament on its own. You play a semi-final, two semi-finals. Nigeria will play against one country, another country play against another, and then you play in a final playoff, and then you go on to the intercontinental stage, and play against, I think either Oceania or South America. And South Americans, they're always trouble. But one thing is that those teams that finish in the spot to play playoff of South America, they're not the best of sides, obviously. But NFF, would they want to use this time to compensate some people and invite people that will not even contribute anything?
No, 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 no,
See, the
no,
thing
no.
is, see,
If you
the
did not
thing
play in
is,
this
the
game,
thing
you don't
is,
want
the
to,
thing
please.
is, see, the thing is, the playoff is in Morocco, and I hope they are aware that Semi Ajayi has a second yellow card. Are they aware? So he cannot play for, or will everything get missing? Will they take
They
out
should do their
everything
research.
since
They should
1920?
do their research. They should do their research
I hope they are aware.
properly.
They're not gonna play
Understand
him
the
in that
rules.
that playoff. It will be this catastrophic. Semi
Yeah.
I think he's the only Nigerian player that had yellow card, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's the only one. I hope they're
Yeah,
aware
you
of
look
that.
at this
But
game. Yeah, I think
it's only him, yeah,
Ademola
it's only him because
Lookman's
of his
yellow card will be cancelled off. I think he served the
counsel.
suspension.
Yeah,
So
he said
Frank,
he was in the stands. He was
yeah, was in
congratulating
stance.
was there.
Frank
Yeah,
says it's not
all
about
of
Ndidi. Our midfielders are doing well. Well, thanks for your comments. Thanks for your comment. The midfield played well, but I'm just spotting things. I know sometimes in wins we don't spot things, and I'm saying Didi, he kind of expires. Anyways, but
no,
we're
other
happy with
players need
what
to step up, man. Other players need to step up. The likes of Tolu. Tolu needs to step up.
Tolu have to
Simon did
step up.
better today. 3 assists. But
Yeah,
he's
step
finished.
up. So
He's still
Chukwueze
predictable.
had 2 assists today. Chukwueze had 2 assists today.
Simon had one. Oh yeah, Simon had one. Simon needs to step up, man. He's too predictable. That
Pastor says, "What
cross up,
a
step
game!
over,
Wow, yes,
cross.
what a game! What a game! What
Again,
a
what
game!"
again?
So Omeke says Dele is an average player. For me, Dele is a squad player. For me right now, if it can be done, for those that don't like me talking about one national, sorry, not sorry. I have to say it because look at the team. Who is the 10? You don't have that 10 in this team. If you want to play with this two-man midfield, uh, um, gangbuster type of midfield, anyway, but
Okay,
let's
go
just be
and tell.
happy. Let's just be happy now
Okay,
and move
go,
on.
go and
But
tell.
the midfield gives me cause for concern. It does. It does give me cause
Okay,
for concern.
so who can you bring in that was not in this match for the next game? What name do you have that was not on this squad that can solve that problem for the next match?
For one, I would profile-wise, I would go for Ebenezer. I'll go for Ebenezer against
Yes,
Wales.
yes. Ebenezer. It's high
I'll go
time he
for him
come into
because
that midfield.
he's got the attributes. He's
The
physical,
legs.
6'1", 6'2". He's got legs, so he can motor up and down. He's got that pass, and he can keep the ball popping, which is something Nigeria
Yes.
lacks. That midfielder that can, and that's one of the reasons we lost game. Sort of drop points in that Zimbabwe game. Nobody could actually, okay, let me hold this ball, pop it about, okay, permit me to speak some Igbo. Hold the ball, I give you, you give me, pop it about. Sometimes that's what it takes. Take the sting out of a game. You're leading 1-0, 10 minutes to go, someone to be on the ball, comfortable on the ball. Take it. Those kind of things, is lacking in this midfield. So I think he should be looked at. He's playing well in Serie A. if our captain can be playing in Saudi Arabia, why can't we invite the player who is playing well in the Serie A to come and play? People talk about his assists, his goals. The team is playing for. Are they a team you really think they can score that many goals in the Serie A? But he is a player that I think
How,
should be in
how I
in this
wish
team.
Kingsley Ehezubwe from Udinese is eligible to play for Nigeria. Maybe we'll be our right back after Aina. But I love this because when they won this match, all of them were in tears. It took a toll on them. It took a toll. We were this close, like back to back
Okay,
World Cup,
South
but
Africa, you people have come. You have come with your banter. What did you say? Elijah Madiba says, "Thank you, Super Eagles. My prayers for you to win and Bafana to win." Answer, but I'll sincerely pray you still make it to the World Cup. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your prayers.
All these fake
For the
prayers
World
have been fake prayers that you're praying.
Cup. For the World Cup.
it's not
Emeka
been
says
about fake
Nigeria
players.
needs seriously.
Look at
Nigeria is what do you say? Let's see the
we
comments.
need
Nigeria is seriously in need of a
someone to feed
playmaker.
ball to.
For sure. For sure.
Someone that will feed
For
ball.
sure.
Look at Osimhen.
That
Just one
People
that
don't
ball.
understand.
Ebenezer
Victor
of a guy.
Osimhen is when I say Victor Osimhen is a gangster in a good way, people don't get it. Victor Osimhen may not be the silkiest of players, he may not have the touch of Berbatov, but when you play that ball, he would no defender rest when you have Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is
does
a
he play?
difficult.
Does he play on the
Diego
shoulder a
Costa,
lot? Like
is
does he
it?
play on the shoulder a lot? Osimhen, like that second goal, it's like that. Once you put him one on one, it's pretty much he
He's
just
gone. Any race with any defender, Osimhen is gone. You're not catching him. He's done. He's done. You're not meeting up to him. That's
sorry,
why the
Ugo.
defender
That
fouled him.
that that
He missed it.
Ebenezer is he a playmaker? I'm not
Ebenezer
aware
is
of
a
it.
he's a play. He is his best role for me.
Somewhat.
Yeah, his best role
He's
for me
somewhat
is
of a
deep
playmaker.
line
Somewhat.
playmaker. He's not a 10. He's a deep line playmaker. Pop the ball about, can give those long passes that Osimhen can take advantage of. You know,
Mhm.
that Lesotho game, that's another thing where I was seeing they were attempting it. That was the good thing in the Lesotho game. They were attempting those passes, but they were never hitting them. It will be what will attempt. Indeed, they will attempt, but it will not hit it. So United fan says, is it Rivers United or Manchester United fan? So hello, go. I've been a fan of your channel. We need a letter against Emilio Wakali in our midfield immediately. Thank you so much, United fan. Thanks for your support. Thanks to you guys who have been supporting this channel from day one. Thank you so much. Yeah, Letu is another name. It's another one you look at. But you look at it, maybe may this be too early for him, but he is another name you look at. Charles Uba is another one, but he's too raw at this minute. But he's another person that I think can be special for Nigeria. What he brings, his space that he can have in that midfield. I've not seen any central midfielder with such pace. But pace is not everything. And the way he wins the ball with aggression and all, is someone that maybe in the future you begin to integrate into this team because this team is getting ancient. So if Sudan, all these people have come here, who is this? This guy says Ibrahim Isaka says if Congo beats Sudan, they will have 16 points. Gabon 16 points. Cameroon 15 points. With 9 goals. Nigeria will be bottom of the playoff group with 15 points and 7 goals. Yeah, whether bottom or top, still in the playoff. Is that not it? That's the important thing. Any of those teams, you can get absolutely washed by if you don't come up with your A game. None of those teams can play Nigeria. If Nigeria steps up, comes up, Cameroon maybe, but if you come up with an A game against those countries, you win. That's why I don't want the NFF to muck around with this team. You know, I don't. They've been doing this like Alasan Yusuf. What was the point of having him in this team? Why? I try to understand it. I don't understand. So, United fan still says Kingsley is the right wing back who always plays for Udinese. He's a Dutch international. If I'm correct, is he? Has he? I don't think he's played for Holland yet. I don't think he's a Dutch international. Maybe. So I'll do a little research on it. I don't think he's a Dutch international yet. So fast and technical. So that's a right back issue. We have a right back issue. But are they going to address it? It needs to be addressed.
Do you bring Lukman in, or you play the same things forward
No,
next
no.
game?
Lookman definitely would be part of the squad. Whether or not he takes someone off it, that's the question. You know, that's the question. So he comes in. Maybe he can. He and Simon Moses have to dig it out. Between him and Simon Moses, they have to dig it out for that left wing berth. They have to dig it out. So the area has gone off. So maybe network issues will be back soon. Charles as well. I think the same thing. Onyedika, United fan says Onyedika is by far our best midfielder. Our midfield should be built around him. For me, if I'm completely honest, based on what we have at the minute, if you're not adding any new faces for that midfield, I'll go with Uche and I'll go with Rafael Onyedika. That's what I will go with for sure. Osimhen for South Africa. Who is this? Sumelo Maforas. Osimhen for South Africa will celebrate him. Great player. Oh Lord, you guys should enjoy. Let me add somebody now. So Prof, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us. How you feeling? I'm sure you're having mixed feelings. Good performance, but not enough to guarantee automatic qualification. So, what are your thoughts about the game? Can't hear you. I think it's your.
Are you
Okay.
hearing me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So my happiness is that we scored such a margin of goals. I don't know what the playoff will be, but based on this scoreline, I remember yesterday watching IoT Eagle Tracker. They mentioned like if we could score 4 goals, we'll be in the playoff. So whatever the case be, let's watch and see. But my happiness is how we defeated Benin. The Super Eagles haven't played like this for a very long time.
Yeah, I haven't.
I'm happy about that. Even if we don't make it to the World Cup, the players should learn their lesson. You understand? But I still feel strongly we'll be in that playoff. You understand? I think maybe by the end of today, it will be well known what teams will be making that playoff. But I believe strongly. From IoT's analysis yesterday, when the playoffs, you understand? I've seen even you yourself made it clear when the playoff. You yourself made it clear when the playoff. So let's watch and see. It's just a pity we messed up ourselves. I just hope next time when such event comes to be, we'll start from the onset.
Yeah.
They came too late to the party.
Yeah, I want to ask a question to you now. Wait, because I know you're saying we should take care of ourselves, make sure we get our acts together and all that. But what do you have to say about the NFF, right? Because for me, I think they seem to go unscathed, go without blame.
Let me tell you something. Let me use this set of words. Sorry, God forgive me. You too forgive me. The NFA are what I call qualified quacks. They are quacks that are qualified as quacks in that glass house. That is our biggest problem in this nation. I wish they could be scrapped. Anything Nigeria wins is by sheer effort. The NFA has no contribution to success in most cases.
Yeah. For me, my solution I'm sure they're not going to take this kind of thing. For me, I would say give the NFF chairman 10 years tenure. 10 years. But the moment Nigeria fails to qualify for anything, you leave your job.
Yeah, I think that should be
the moment you fail for under 17 World Cup, AFCON, whatever, you fail to qualify, you fail to go far enough in the AFCON, you lose your job, you go home. Because they seem to get unscathed every time. They sack coaches, they drop players.
The problem. Just see what Morocco is doing. Check all the World Cups they've been qualifying for.
Everything.
Olympics.
They are so organized that they are hosting the playoffs.
Well. See what they did is it yesterday in under 20?
Yeah.
Knocked out USA.
Exactly.
As I'm seeing it, Morocco is getting to the finals. And
That's organized. Oh, sorry, my
Cup.
brother. Okay, is there
So
with us? Yeah.
our NFA is just the biggest problem we have. I've never felt like that. You know, it's just a, they're
They're
the
just too
ones
bad.
that cause this
I
thing.
don't think they're
As far as
getting
I'm
right.
concerned,
They're
they
getting
share the
nothing right.
World Cup
They're
and
getting nothing right whatsoever.
the blame to why we are at this level of the qualifiers. If they have put their acts together, we would have gone far. We would have been
Exactly.
struggling. We would have been
Exactly.
struggling.
Exactly.
I know
Let me
South
just go through
Africa will win
some
their match
comments
today.
quickly.
I didn't see any Jupiter stopping them. The Rwanda, if it was Benin that played against South Africa today, maybe it could have been a draw.
Different thing. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
and
just
Rwanda, they
it.
have nothing to play for
Are you
anymore.
hearing me?
After they lost to Benin Republic, there's nothing for them to play for anymore. So you don't really blame them. You don't really say they should go out there and do what. Well, so Emeka Eletu is needed in the team to understudy Iwobi, why Akinsimere is a fantastic player to push Ndidi for a spot in the team. Yeah, Eletu, because for me right now, I think those are the kind of players Nigeria should be looking at. Those ones that are good on the ball, have some spark of creativity, can let you control games. Have to start looking at those type of players. 100%. I agree with you. Emeka. I agree with you. And then Tulani from South Africa. Congratulations. It says, as a South African, we thank you, Nigeria. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Emeka says, Onyedika is also good, but he doesn't have a quick foot, no flexibility. But he's someone that he's proven himself right now that he can be a goal threat from midfield, and he's got that energy and tank as well. So I think he's someone that should be in and around the team. Now, if you just joined the stream, thanks for joining. Hope you smash the like button. Hope you subscribe to the channel if you're new, and you share this video to your friends, families, and colleagues that you think will love this sort of content. Thank you so much. We're talking about the Nigeria versus Benin Republic game just ended. Nigeria trashed Benin Republic 4-0, but that was not enough to see Nigeria qualify automatically for the World Cup. But however, Nigeria have themselves in the playoff for the World Cup. You have a mini tournament that will be hosted in Morocco that Nigeria would play against. Will play a semi-final and hopefully go on to play a final in that playoff berth in Africa, and then go on to play, I think, a team from South America and Oceania, for that final spot, for the 10th spot, because Africa has 9 automatic guaranteed spots and 1, should I say, tentative spot open to teams to fight for. So that's what Nigeria are looking to fight for at this minute. So you take what you get at this point in time. And for me, I keep saying this, the NFF right now are the real culprits. Of course, Eric Chill, there's some games where I blame the substitutions he made, in the game versus Zimbabwe, how he set up the team against South Africa. Some players, I blame them as well. I've talked about Ndidi. I've talked about some other players for sure. But the main culprits, the main people that always seem to get unscathed, meanwhile they are the constant. When we talk about missing out on World Cup tournaments, the first World Cup, you had the NFF. Missing out on automatic qualification for this one, you have NFF. Under 17 not qualifying for 2 World Cups, 217 World Cups back to back, back to back, you have the NFF. You having problem with getting dual nationals, NFF. You have problem with grassroots development within Nigeria, NFF. So you have this constant in every issue, everything wrong with Nigeria, plaguing Nigerian football, and we don't seem to talk about them. We talk about players. Of course, we talk about players. People say, "Oh, the players NFF won't come and play on the pitch." Of course, they will not. But they make decisions that affect who gets to play on the pitch. They make the decisions because I think if you leave, if things are left for coaches like Eric Chill, I don't think certain players will be invited. Now, one question I want to ask: given what has happened with Eric Chill, do you see him, or would you want him to take Nigeria into, the into the AFCON tournament and indeed into the playoff. So two scenarios. If Nigeria wins that playoff, goes on to qualify for the World Cup, would you want him to take Nigeria to the AFCON? I think that's easy days. If he does that, I'm sure a lot of people will say, let him take Nigeria to the AFCON. But what if he doesn't? Because we are super confident. We feel that we are the better team, at least better than every other team in that playoff grouping, at least for the African side. And even when talking about South America, right, the best of the best of South America wouldn't be dropping out to play the playoff. Because your Brazils, your Argentinas, would be who would have qualified automatically for the World Cup. So you should be confident going up against a team like Venezuela and the likes, but you always have the chance that they may pull up something. So first scenario, Eric Chell leads Nigeria to World Cup spot. Would you want him to remain at the job, or you feel you've seen enough? If he doesn't, would you be like, oh, he's done? You should not lead Nigeria to the AFCON? For me, this is where I stand. If you're going to let Eric Chell go, make sure you get someone who is better, who is clearly better, has better pedigree than him. I don't want to see any class of 94 near Super Eagles coaching job. I don't want to see them. You have people going up and down, giving interviews in podcasts, saying all sorts of things. I don't want to see them anywhere. Mbappe, is that Mbappe there? Or he says his name is Danny. Okay. So, those are my opinions on the game. So, South Africa have qualified for the World Cup. So, congratulations to you. I know the banter will come. That's what football is all about. When your team wins, you bring your banter, you bring your laughter against the team that hasn't won or qualified or got the results. So fair play to you. Qualify for the World Cup. Good one on you guys. Laugh at South African flag everywhere. That's good. And for those people, because some Nigerian fans really get me, whether it's irritated or angry or whatever, for all those fans who were going on with the Benin Republic flag and all those things, so where do we send you to? Do we send you to Benin Republic? Do we ship you off to Benin Republic so you go along with your team? Because I don't get this, right? When you support Chelsea, you support Arsenal, you support Leeds United, you support Liverpool, Real Madrid, you never, ever, 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 when your team loses or drop points or whatever, shift to support another team. But so how would you do the same? How would you do that when your country needs your support? Because for me, this dragon economy is just way, 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 way too much, in my opinion. So that's just something I just said I had to mention, I had to say. And now, so looking at the team, we have been talking about, do we need new faces in this team? Do we need to add one or two players and take out one or two players going into this playoff? Looking at the team, I look at it and I feel like in that midfield, we need one or two more additions for that midfield. And we need to utilize the full 26 man that you're allowed to get. I don't get this thing of always going for the 23 man sort of squad or list. I don't quite get it, in my opinion. And the right back spot, we need to start looking for another right back. Yes, Benjamin Frederick has shown himself to be more versatile than a Swiss Army knife, because he played, in that right back spot, played it like he's been a right back for years, right? No mistakes, no errors. Even the free kick the referee decided to give against him was nothing. Was a non-starter. I don't know what was wrong with the referee, right? He plays centre back like he's been there for years, but he's just 20. So I think he's special, but I think playing centre back is his best position, and that means you should get a right back. I don't know, Michael Kayode, whoever, you need to get a right back in the building. Two right backs, especially because Olano is out injured. So since the playoff will be in around November, I think he will miss it ever so slightly. You need to get a right back in. Back to side Samuel. No one knows how long his injury he'll be out for. And then left back spot, Zaidu Sanusi, Bruno Yemachi. Maybe that could be good enough to go in. I think Zaidu Sanusi showed some promise in this game when the cross was put into the box. But I would say this as well. He did have some dodgy cross into the box, if I'm to be completely honest. But I think maybe going to these playoffs, you have both of them. And now, one funny thing, with the NFF, they went and fixed, these friendly matches in November. They played in the US. Now, what happens to those friendly matches? I think there was against Colombia and Venezuela or something like that. In the US. Now you got to the playoff. You'll be playing, in November in Morocco. So, would you be still playing those friendly matches and then come back to play in Morocco? Maybe. Let's see what they do. But those matches even seem more pointless. Because you have AFCON in December. You don't want to overstretch this team. They've just played this October. They'll be coming back again to play in November for the playoff. So, want to know your take on that one. But and then for the attacking position, Osimhen, of course, no one is going to bench him. He is the star of the team. Like him, hate him, love him, embrace him. He is Nigeria's star player, and he showed up today. He scored a hat trick. Could have had a hat trick of assists if you had players who are as clinical as him playing by his side as well. So he's someone that should be looked at as well. And then I think Chidera Ejuke could be a good shout. But I think the issue I have with Chidera Ejuke is that he is injury prone. One moment he's fit, the next moment he has a muscular injury and is out for a couple of weeks and misses out on games. But I think with the skill set he has, it could be a nice addition to this team going in, especially if Nigeria wants to play this 4-4-2 with two out-and-out flying wingers. You need someone with the skill that can go 1v1. That's another thing, and that's why I don't want to look man. I think should definitely be in this team going into this playoff. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's watched this live stream. If you're joining, thanks for watching from start to finish. If you're joining, thanks for watching. You can also watch it back on playback or on YouTube and watch from start to finish. And thanks so much for the support. Those who subscribe to the channel, who've been liking this content and sharing the video as well. Thank you a lot. I want to say this as well. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, you can let me know in the comments. And also, if you want to be a member of the group of this channel, you can also be a member of the channel. And also, if you're on X, you can follow me on X, Uganda Football Channel on X. Even on Instagram, and the same thing, even on TikTok with the same username. So at this point, I've come to the end of the video. I want to say big thanks, massive thanks to you and everyone who's been supportive of this channel. And I'll see you on yet another video. So stay well and most definitely stay blessed. Bye-bye.